Welcome back, HBRV Lifestyle. This is your Honey Badger here. If this is the first time that you are visiting my channel, I have 11 years of RV experience between sales, finance, repairing them, camping in them. I've done it all. And I'm passing that knowledge on to you. And today's video is an orientation class on the 2022 Cross Trail by Coachmen RV. And this is specifically for you if you've bought a Cross Trail or if you're renting one. And specifically, I did this for my good friends at Coyote RV Rentals in Ventura, California. These folks, I helped them a long time ago get started in the rental business. And as a gift to them for letting me use one of their Class Cs, I'm doing this video to help them out. So, let's get started. Now let's start with that the bunk bed actually folds up to give you more room in the cabin. That's how a Class C works. Then we're going to show you that the bunk ladder that has hooks go into the attachment on that removable piece. Hooks in, and you're ready to go up the stairs to be able to go into the bunk bed. One thing I do want to point out is that the screen actually buckles in like a seatbelt. So you'll see me demonstrate it. Sorry if I sound like I have the sniffles today. Allergies have been killing me. We're almost there. And we buckle in the second one. So it's important, like my daughter Joanna, when we took her trip to Juma Lake, she likes that feature. She's 10 years old and doesn't want to fall off the bed because she has her twin sister on the other side. So it makes her feel good and makes her feel like she has something that touches when she's rolling or moving while she's asleep. Now there is a fan above the bunk bed, and that fan runs on the battery. So if you're dry camping, this fan will drain your battery. So you simply pop it open in the unlock position, twist open the vent, and then you push button for the fan. It's got 4 speeds and an off button. Right now we're playing it on speed 1. And then I'm going to demonstrate speed 2, speed 3, speed 4, and then off. Simply twist the black knob to close the vent, push it up into the locked position, and you're done and secured for your drive around. One thing I want to point out as I show you the lights and the privacy curtain is do not leave the vent lid open while you're driving. If you leave the vent lid open while you're driving, you do risk the chance of that lid falling off or breaking off. And unfortunately, you will have to pay for it. Average cost is about $40. Now, if you're looking at the way I'm demonstrating these blinds, I'm pulling up and down from the middle. Pull down with 2 hands, please. Do not pull down with 1. Up in the bunk bed area, you have USB charging station and HDMI cable. Just realize that those USBs do run on the battery, so if you're charging a cell phone or a tablet, it will drain the battery. The TV is hooked into a 15 amp plug like it would at your house, so you do have to be plugged into shore power or have the generator on. Just go over your control panel. Your Wi-Fi will not work because it does not have a subscription on this rental, so please do not turn it on. And then you can check your propane level, battery level, fresh water, black water, and gray water tank from this panel simply by holding down the buttons and the lights will be on. Those lights may be inaccurate if the coach is not level or if the sensor has moved from the tank. There are other features including your tank heaters that you can turn on and off. That's for cold weather, freezing cold weather. It runs and will drain the battery. So if it's not working or you have it on, it will drain the battery. You also have your hot water heater. It's direct start ignition, which means you do not need to go outside and simply light it. It will light on its own as long as the propane is on and that switch is on. The water pump is self-explanatory. It pumps the water out of the freshwater tank to give you water to your kitchen, your bathroom, your shower, etc. It does run on the battery, so please do not leave it on the entire time in the coach. Please turn it off when not in use. I'm going to go over some things at the end of this video that will be emergency things you may want to listen to and write down, just in case, because remember, they are built by human beings. Moving on to the generator gives you your air conditioner and all your household plugs. Simply hold down the prime button until the light turns blue, and then you will hold down the start button. Once the generator is on, you'll see the blue light solid on, and again, you'll have everything from your appliances, your battery charging, etc. And you can simply just hold down the stop button when you're done using the generator. The generator does use gasoline from the gas tank. I'll go into that at the end of the video, any emergencies. Remember, all emergencies will be at the end of the video. We're going over into your stove. Make sure the propane tank on the outside of the unit is turned on. You simply just turn the knobs like you do on your household appliances, and you click, 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 and it starts. Make sure that you have the range light and fan on when you're doing this to let all the propane and gas smell out of the unit. Let it exhaust. And then you're going to simply I'm just demonstrating, tell my wife that she's filming, that it exhausts all the fumes out with that fan. By the way, thank you to my wife for doing as much cam work as she can. It's the first time she's helped me with the videos like this. And of course, there's a light underneath the kitchen. Blinds. Blinds work just like household blinds, unlike the rest of the unit. And then Coyote Rentals gives you a few things like a coffee maker. Please, anything you find in the coach that Coyote provides for you, please return into working order. Now, your microwave works like a household microwave. You simply hit cook, the time you want to put it in, and then start. It also has a popcorn setting, but please, if you are going to do popcorn, please turn on fans and open up all windows to allow that smell to ventilate. Now, the most complicated part, and again, emergencies on this situation toward the end of the video. It's a 12-volt refrigerator. You can set it from 1 to 5 on coldness, and it runs on the battery and solar. I want to repeat that again. It does run on the battery and solar. It does not run on propane. Okay, now let's get into the light switch. This is below the next to the entry door. You can see, just demonstrating, the lights turn on and off. Now the lights run on the battery. And I'm going to give you a real cool secret. If you're not using any portion of the coach, including the refrigerator, if you are at home, you don't need to get the refrigerator cold yet. There is a battery disconnect switch at the bottom that turns off all battery power, so it won't drain the battery. Now, what I'm going to demonstrate is the awning. A lot of folks think they're automatic. They are not automatic awnings. They are electric awnings. You simply need to extend the awning by pulling the awning extend with the coach off and the key removed out of the ignition. Again, the key must be removed out of the ignition for the awning to go out or in. You simply hold it down. Now, if the awning's going out slow, that's normal. If it's coming in slow, that's normal. It takes a lot of battery power for it to come in and out. It also has lighting underneath the awning, LED lights. That's your patio light switch, and it gives you a ton of light on the outside. As we have found out during our camping trip to Coachmen, it lit it up really well. Now, if we want to bring it in, we simply just hold the retract button. Now, when you're holding the retract button, it's going to come in very slow. It's going to make some sounds. That is perfectly normal. That is nothing abnormal. If you are plugged in or if you have the generator running while you're doing this, it will actually help prevent that noise as much, but you're not going to prevent it all the way. It is a normal noise. Now we're simply just going to demonstrate the patio light switch turns off the lights under the awning. Now remember, all of these lights are LED. It does have a solar package on it. The solar package is mostly meant just to keep it going. And there's the battery disconnect switch I was talking about earlier. You could turn it to off if you're not using any part of the coach. If you picked it up 2 days early from Coyote, or if you've bought this unit and you're storing it, to simply turn it to off, open up the refrigerator to let all the cold air out. Now the extended countertop. I just showed you how to pull it out very easily. Watch me demonstrate this. This is very, very frustrating, especially if you're new to this. You have to lift up and play with the little handles to get them to fold. See how I've been doing this 10 years and I'm even looking frustrated trying to do this. Oh, there we go. We got it closed and collapsed. Don't hit it. Don't pull on it too hard. Just simply use some finesse. Then you have lights under the dinette that are separate from the panel that we showed you earlier. And then again, just like I demonstrated with the bunk bed, please make sure to use 2 hands with the blinds. Lift them up very gently. Yes, it will be tight. Do not loosen them. They will loosen on their own. And then to open the window, you unlatch it and pull gently towards. Then you close, same thing, gently close it, latch it back so that way it stays locked, and then simply pull down the blinds when you want to pull them down very gently. Please do not pull with one hand. That has the chance of damaging them, and damaging them is not cheap. God, you had great idea, Net, with those buckets, man. That was an awesome idea. The dinette does have seat belts for those that want to be passengers, obviously. Now, what we're going to demonstrate here is the longest part of the video, which is how to make the bed into a dinette. So you simply remove all the cushions. Now, I'm not going to remove the wall cushion in this demonstration, but as you can tell, you got to wiggle that table off. You don't just pull it straight out. You have to wiggle it a little bit. I set it on the back of the dinette. That's how I do it. You can simply sit on the floor if you want. Wiggle the pulls out until they come. Don't pull straight up. Wiggle them out. You'll hurt your back. You'll hurt your arms. A little wiggle and pull at the same time prevents injury and makes it a lot easier. Now in this demonstration, I do not have the bed poles, but usually you would put 2 smaller poles. Please ask the rental people for those poles. It also has a little charging station or a little 15 amp plug for, if you want to charge phones or whatever the case may be. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take the table. Now normally you'd have poles under there, but we're going to do it without it. And you see those ledges that are right there. I'm going to try to get my wife, she's zooming in, coming down perfect. There's the ledges. We're going to slide the table along those edges. See, you don't want to do it that way. I'm showing you a couple ways it doesn't work out unless you want to remove all the cushions. So the easiest way is to lift up at the bottom and slide the table where it's on the actual ledges. Now I got a little confused for a minute because that little cushion right there threw me off. I'm like, what in the heck? But my wife had the great idea, because she's been watching me do this long enough, that we figured it out, and it is removing that middle cushion and then putting 2 of the others in the middle. Now you have to stuff it. It doesn't go in like a jigsaw puzzle. You actually have to stuff the sucker in there. See how I'm pushing hard and stuffing? Now I normally put the poles underneath the dinette when I'm doing a demonstration, when I'm selling them. And I'm 5'9", 200 pounds, and Pretty comfortable without the support poles. Just look how beautiful I am. So comfy. Like Vanna White, I'm showing you how wonderful this beautiful dinette is. And then, of course, the look I have when I know I have to put it back when I'm a salesperson. Oh my God. But reverse engineer, you're simply going to pull the cushions out, put them back, and then you're simply going to put the table, you're going to pull it out, put the legs back in first into the position, not the legs into the table, but the legs into the floor first, and then you'll put the table on top as I continue to demonstrate. Push hard, and then I'm going to line up the table. I'm going to see how it has those little circles, those little cups I like to call them. You just simply push down. No need to jiggle, no need to hit it hard, no need to hammer it. That's the way it goes. Yeah, baby. Okay, the air conditioner in these units is run off the thermostat. So we're going to walk over to the thermostat. The thermostat, by the way, runs on the battery. But the air conditioner compressor has to have 30 amps to run. So if you're not running the generator or if you're not plugged into a 30 amp plug, the air conditioner will not work. The fan will, but not the AC. So we have the AC on, and then what's going to happen is that the air blows from 5 different directions. 4 vents that are from the side, 2 on the sides, 2 front and back, and then the vents that we call the quick cool dump. So if I open up all of them, it's going to spread air through each vent very slowly. As I close vents, it'll be more powerful. And if I close all 4 exterior vents and simply open up the quick dump, it's going to cool that kitchen area and dinette area the quickest. Those tabs for the vents, guys, be very gentle. As you know, that other one I needed to afterward to lube it up to get it to loosen. Do not pull on those hard. They break very easily. The furnace, you simply just turn it back to the furnace. That runs on the propane and battery. You do not need to be plugged in for that to work. You simply need propane and battery power. And of course, the master bed. That's right. I wink, wink, hint, hint. It has a little space if you want to put a TV, a little plug-in for it. Lots of cabinetry to put a little storage in. But we're not going to get into that. It does have a privacy curtain. The wife and I did not use that. We were too bloody tired during our trip to Coachmen Lake. We simply just laid down and went to bed. Lots of lights, charging stations, including USB ports. Again, those USB chargers run on the battery. So if you're charging your cell phone or charging a device, just realize it may decrease the battery power of the coach. Real quick, just going to show you it has a closet. All right, knock, knock. Let's go look at the one part of the coach that probably smells the worst, and that's the bathroom. Sorry, got to keep some kind of humor going with this. It's a long video. All right, now the bathroom, if you are dry camping or if you're hooked up to water, the toilet works simple. You use the bathroom as you normally would, whether it's number 1 or number 2. Then when you're ready to flush, the water's on, that pedal is a foot pedal. You're simply going to step on the pedal and hold it down, and voila, water comes out, flushes the toilet, and then it'll have a little residual to leave some water in there. And then, of course, your sink works just like a household sink, just like the kitchen sink. This shower is more complicated. Okay, so at the end, I'm going to go over some emergency measures about the hot water and stuff like that. But if you start seeing, this is the first thing that happens. Guys start turning on the shower and they start seeing this and go, there's no water pressure. That's very true. Some guys will turn off the water, turn on the water. The best way, as you'll see, is I'm going to look and check the button there in the top. First, I'm showing the skylight, but that top button right there at the shower head, you have to click it all the way over. And now you got regular pressure. Now, I'm not demonstrating the shower curtain in this, but the shower curtain, you simply pull and lock it into place. Do not try to shove it. Do not try to pull it out of its track. It simply is a plastic sheet that you pull and it goes over. Now, this propane tank turns on and off using that valve. If you want the propane tank on, you have to turn it to open. You do not want to drive with it open. You want to drive with it closed. I want to repeat that again. You want to drive with it closed, not open. Another thing you want to be aware of is that the TV behind this does not run on the battery. It runs on electricity. So you have to be plugged in or you have to have the generator running. Yeah, I dropped the keys. So 751 key opens up all of your cabinet, your outside doors, including your storage door, and then what I call the P key or the oval key does your deadbolt and your house door. And then, of course, the third key is your ignition key and door key. There is no remote control for the locks. You must unlock and lock manually. Now, get out your piece of paper and pen. We're going to go over some emergencies while I walk around the coach. First of all, if your refrigerator, your 12-volt refrigerator, throws an error code of E3, that is low voltage. E3 is low voltage. It means that your battery power is low. Please, if there is problems with the refrigerator, carry an ice chest. I always carry a big ice chest with me just in case so it doesn't ruin the trip. Make sure you inform the rental company, in this case is Dinette at Coyote RV Rentals, and he will be able to schedule maintenance for when you bring the coach back. Do not ruin your trip by not bringing an ice chest. Refrigerators, just like anything else, when it's an earthquake and it's going down the road, it's an earthquake on wheels, things will go wrong. Make sure that whatever happens, you have a fabulous time, a good time, and set yourself up for it. So let's go over other emergencies. What if the awning doesn't want to come in or close? Simple. There are 2 shocks on each side of the awning arm. Make sure you pop them off using a screwdriver, and you're going to watch the awning just go super fast and zzz, bang, and hit against the coach. Unfortunately, if it does happen, it rarely does, but if it does, make sure you contact the rental company to let them know what happened. It is covered under insurance, any damage, and just don't open or close the awning again. What if my refrigerator stops working? Well, in this case, it's more than likely low battery power. Make sure that you start your generator. If you do not have enough gasoline for the generator, or simply you do not have enough battery power to start the generator, start the engine. If you start the engine, that will help charge the battery to be able to start the generator to start charging the battery. The battery is one of the most important parts of the coach. If it is throwing any other code that has nothing to do with the battery power, then simply fill up an ice chest full of all of your stuff you had in there. That's why I say carry an emergency ice chest with you all the time, a big one, just in case of an emergency like this. Fill up your food, call Net at the rental company, let him know in the morning or the next day if it's at night that you have an issue. That way he can schedule maintenance when you get back from your trip. If it's a longer trip, that way he can schedule maintenance somewhere else. Another most common I get is my generator's not working or does not turn on. Well, let's start with this. A Class C motorhome or any motorhome of any kind, the generator feeds off the same gasoline tank as the RV itself, as the motor. So if you reach a quarter of a tank of gas or less, your generator will not turn on. That is a fail-safe. The other reason why a generator may not work is because you do not have enough battery power to start it. It takes a lot of juice to get it going. So the best thing you can do is turn on the motor, let it run for a little bit, and then try the generator again. Again, if that does not work, then you need to simply contact Net and let him know so we can get it serviced. This is an interesting I always get. The solar runs everything? No. All the solar does is charge the batteries while the sun is out. If it's a cloudy day, it charges less than if it's a sunny day. Its main job is to keep the batteries as topped off as possible so that way your refrigerator does not stop working. It does not charge the batteries at night or during a rainstorm. Only when there is sunlight out. My furnace will not work. Well, this is actually more common than you think, and it's actually 3 easy fixes. Number 1, it more than likely is a fuse. So fuses do blow in a coach. Make sure that you carry a couple extra. Don't give them to the rental company back. Keep them with you for the next time you rent them. But, carry a couple 10 or 15 amp fuses for the breaker box. It could be that you're out of propane. It also can be low battery power. The thermostat and the actual furnace run on the battery, nothing else. So if your house batteries are dead or really low, your LED lights might work just fine, but you may not have enough power to do your furnace or your thermostat. So make sure that you check your batteries and your propane before reporting this to the rental company. What 5 things would I bring for emergency? Well, the first thing that I keep repeating probably 5 times this video is a big ice chest. I've run into a lot of situations where my refrigerator has stopped working in an RV. And I hate for all my food to spoil. So make sure you bring a big ice chest and lots of ice just in case. I'd also bring a lot of blankets if I'm in cold weather, just in case my furnace breaks or stops working. I also would bring emergency water, jugs of water just in case. The 4th thing I would bring is fuses, just in case it's just a simple fuse and fix. And the last thing I would bring is I would bring lanterns, battery-powered lanterns, just in case your entire 12-volt system goes kaplooey. That way you have lights and won't ruin your trip. If you have any questions whatsoever, please make sure to ask Net or Rosa, or you can also leave me a comment in the comments section of this YouTube video, or if you go into the description box below, you will see all of my contact information on social media. Please, if you have any questions, give me a shout. I'm very happy to answer anything. Till then, happy camping. This is a lot of fun. This video was for educational purposes to put your mind at ease, just in case you run into a situation.